Hi, I'm Mike, and you're watching Spiritual Combat, and the title of today's show is A Trap by Design. And what I'm talking about is um, basically, the condition of our race and how it's a cleverly set trap. And, and it's, the number one the main feature, I guess you could say, of a trap is it has to be deceiving. It has to look fun, look good, look enticing. You put the cheese on the mouse trap, and the mouse wants the cheese because he's hungry. He's like, "Hey, it's food," and he gets his neck broke. Well, that's how it is for our culture, and we're gonna just briefly go through just how every desire we have is basically used against us as a trap, and a cleverly designed trap. Okay, so let's get into this, and we're gonna start it out with a clip from a video. So let's go to that.
Woke up, and then the next day I was thinking it's all a dream, but it wasn't no dream because me and Z, we really did that at the gas station. We did that, and then what all made sense was when Z told me like a couple of days later, man.
Okay, who is Z?
The one who the gun was for.
What's his real name?
Zadarius, some shit. My gun was. Yeah, like we just called him Z. That's why I'm just saying Z could. That's his name.
Okay, so he gave you the gun.
Yeah, told me, come on, let's get him. My dumb ass, I go do it. I get the man caught, and then I don't remember nothing else after that. They say shit, people were getting robbed and shit. I don't remember robbing nobody. I don't even remember. I remember the gunshot. I remember like somebody pushing me and a gun going off. I don't remember how I get home. I don't remember riding down the freeway or none of that. I don't remember talking to nobody. It's like I woke up, and then the next morning everybody was telling me what I did. Oh, cause you tripping, you did this, you had a fight with him. You know what I mean? You did this, you smacked her, you went off on her, just, you know what I mean? Like, damn, for real. And then what killed it is what Z said, cause you know one of them bullets was missing out the clip, huh? It fall right back onto that gunshot. And then when I realized, like, damn, that wasn't no dream. I do remember a gunshot, you know what I'm saying? And then like yesterday, that's when they charged me with capital murder.
You know what that means, right?
Yeah, life without parole to death.
Not necessarily. I mean, you could get the death penalty.
Yeah, I know.
I spoke with the victim's mother and father just before coming here.
Mm.
They wanted me to ask you why.
I didn't know what I was doing, sir. I was on drugs.
That sounds kind of like an excuse, man.
Nah, that ain't no excuse, sir. I ain't never smoked PCP a day in my life. But that one time I hit it, I go robbing people in front of the store I go to every day.
Okay, and that I wanted to get to that part of the video, but yeah, he basically what happened, and I have a video about the drugs that are out there, and like that he's. I think the video's called the new generation, the latest generation of drugs causes demonic possession. Okay, and when you look in the Bible, you look at the word sorcery and pharmakia and all that stuff like that in the Bible is talking about drugs, okay? And a lot of these drugs, they open you directly up to the spirit world, and they could make you demonically possess or oppress. And he was possessed because he didn't even know what he was doing. He gave control of his body to some demon and was out there killing people and robbing people and murdering people. And you know, these kids are getting influence. A lot of influence comes from this music and all that stuff like that, you know, and you and the church isn't there. The church isn't warning people, man. One mess up and it's a wrap. His life is done. That's it. And I remember, I forget what program I was watching, but it was a corrections officer in the prison. And he was talking about how every time when these guys come into prison and they're doing a life sentence or one of these long sentences, he said it takes maybe a couple weeks or the first week, sometimes the first night, whatever, when it sinks in that they are there for good, forever, you know, or for a long time. And he said they always, it's like a pattern he sees where it's like, man, I did one mistake and it's a wrap for me, you know, and that sinks in, man, and they break. He said it happens, you know, to almost everybody who comes in there, you know, for the first time or whatever, and they're getting a long sentence. Like somebody comes in there, they never came into prison, never went to prison for it, and they was on the streets thugging, living that life, trying to emulate what they see in hip hop, and then it sinks in that, man, I'm here for good. You know, they killed somebody or did something, and they get a long sentence, and they're like, he said it sinks in, and they just break, you know. So, and that's him, man. He done, man. One mess up, a thin margin of error, you know. And what I'm talking about in this video though is it's a trap by design, okay? And some of the bait for this trap is this music, you know? I saw this, okay, on the internet, on YouTube. So we'll watch this real quick. And what it is, they come out with this every single month, and this is coming out of Chicago, the top 50 new Chicago drill rap songs. So just check this out.
I went from robbing everybody to being on the radio. Raps in my rap, make us pull up. We gon' leave you slump love. But on they block, they ass never show. Niggas know we smoking shit, we leaving niggas in the field. Pop out with 230s like I'm smoke at the ratchet, turn up your savage, it can get valid. How you broke and trying to be with me, boy, you backwards. Fuck about who you related to. Fuck. Get your brother, your sister, and the two that created you. Shoot you like we hated you. Don't be calling shit. Squad shit. Fuck the other side.
Okay, and you just go on and on. Like every song is talking about smoking, killing. I mean, they ain't even talking about sex no more. They just talking about smoking and killing. Okay, and then you wonder why all this crazy stuff is happening in Chicago. And that was in July or something. That one, and I mean every month, 50 new. You know, the 50 new hot Chicago drill rap songs, just pumping that stuff into your head. And, you know, the concept is simple as heck, and a lot folks don't believe it. Whatever you watch, whatever you're taking in through your eyes, through your ears, is what feeds your brain. Okay, whatever you take in through your mouth, feed your body. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you're taking in through your eyes and your ears is feeding your brain. That is what you are becoming. And these kids are listening to these songs. And what'd you see? That dude, he smoked, in the first video, that dude, he smoked some weed laced with PCP and went out on a killing spree. And I don't think he knew it was laced with PCP, but It was, and he went out and he went on a robbing spree, and he ended up killing somebody, and his life is done, it's over. That's it. He just gonna spend, you know, trapped by design. He fell for it, and this is my thing. You see these songs, and I went through a couple of them, and they talk about killing each other's family, you know, boom, 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 showing guns. I showed you right here 50 new songs every month, and they just pump this stuff out. But you let one of them talk about killing white people, or you let one of them talk about killing the cops, they'll shut that stuff down. They won't let it come out of nothing. Okay? Why? Because they know whatever this is in this music is going to be what you do. And they don't care about you. They don't care if you're killing each other. So, I mean, wake up. It's a trap by design. They want you killing yourself off. They want you in prison so they can make money off your labor and make money off you in prison. They want that, you know, and we too stupid to see that. Nobody's seeing this. We just going on and we making this silly music, you know. Listen. Every song talking about killing, okay? You know, and some of these songs, like there was one song I saw, man, the song's good. The melody's on, it's tight, good beat, all that. The stuff's tight. Change the words, man. The words really count because the melody relaxes your conscious, aware mind, puts that to sleep, and they sing this wickedness right into your brain, and then you just start doing it unconsciously, not even realizing, hey, it's been sung deep into you, you know. It's craziness, man. And but yeah, you let them change that, you know, the powers that be that are letting this stuff come out or pushing it or funding it to come out, the powers that be, if you change the lyrics to something positive, something to influence the people, something to, you know, they're going to shut it down. They don't want that, you know, because they don't want you to come together as a nation. You know, they want to keep you killing each other and keep you separated. It's a trap designed to kill you. It's a big, huge mouse trap. And that's the cheese, some of this music. Okay? You know, and then I have so the music is that's one of the big traps, you know. So they're deceiving us with the music. They use you know, I didn't put that on here, but you could go into the rap videos with all the women in them. They're trying to deceive you and influence the women with their lust. The women are half dressed. You know, you got Nicki Minaj. She was doing some fundraiser and shaking her butt on stage like, you know, a dog, like some stripper. You know, so they use your lust to destroy you, because then you start they fueled your lust. They encourage you to be horny and be getting as much puss as you can and everything like that. And you go out here, get these women pregnant, do all this stuff like that. You know, a lot of our women get molested or raped before the age of 18 and everything. So we're destroying us that way. The women are putting the men on child support, you know, having babies out of wedlock, cheating, STDs. So they destroying us with the lust. They use that to destroy us. It's like any desire you have, they use it as a deception to lead you to death. And the only way to see this trap and know what it is by the Bible. And the churches aren't teaching it. They use the churches to destroy you. The churches are taking all your money, and they're sending it right out the black neighborhood, because the pastor will get all your money and he'll go buy a Mercedes Benz, or like Creflo Dollar, he'll give it all to Gulfstream to buy a new plane. That money doesn't come back in, and it's not used in your neighborhood or anything like that. And at the end of the day, what's behind this whole thing, of course, is Satan. Satan's pulling the strings, and in the spirit world, the policies of this country are a trap they use to destroy you. Obama's policies destroyed us. What did Obama push real hard when he was in office? Think about it. He pushed this. He pushed homosexuality. And
the guy was coming down, and I guess the police was
it's just destroying our people.
Today, and they began to race behind each other like cats and dogs.
It's a shame. I mean, they're destroying us with everything. Homosexuality. The men aren't even reproducing now. They just they're talking about like the lifespan of a black homosexual, or the chances of a black homosexual getting AIDS or something like that is like some insanely high number. But nobody's seeing that. Nobody's seeing the big picture. They're only seeing the cheese. They're not seeing the the fact that it's on this wooden board and there's this big spring loaded metal thing that's going to break your neck. They're not seeing the trap. They're only seeing the bait. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, a lot of Obama's policies pushing, a woman's right to choose and all that stuff. We're killing our babies off like crazy. So let's see what else I got here. So what's the solution? What's the answer? Like I said earlier, the Bible is the answer. And when you understand, when you realize what's in there that the churches aren't teaching, they're not bringing out these scriptures and really applying them. The churches they'll run through a couple scriptures to where it won't convict you. It won't make you aware. It won't make you uncomfortable. They want to make you feel good so that money could come up out your pocket. They're not teaching the true word. But the Bible is the answer. The Bible's warning you about all these traps. You know what I'm saying? This is Psalms 119, verse 133. And it says, order my steps in thy word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. Okay? Saying, keep my steps, keep me going in your direction, Lord, according to that word, according to all those laws, statutes, commandments. We need a standard, what I'm saying, to walk by. And then this is Psalms chapter 37, verse 23. It says, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Okay? You gotta walk that walk. Because, what you need to remember, just think about this guy here, man. You got to keep a standard. Otherwise, you'll get swept off and, make some mistake or make some type of relationship mistake, and, you got people dying because of that. As Hebrews, our margin of error, I've talked about this in other shows. Our margin of error is very thin. You got some people, like I bring up, I've talked about it before. I knew this guy. His father owned some type of commercial real estate business. This guy dealt with like skyscraper buildings, that type of real estate. Anyway, they were well off. And he was just talking about how He was driving, and well, I'm sorry, his brother was driving. His brother was high and drunk on cocaine or something like that, and driving down the wrong way on in the oncoming traffic on the street late at night, and a car was following him, and the car made him pull over, and it was an undercover cop, and his brother started wrestling with the cop, and the cop said, "Hey, stop wrestling me. I'm an undercover cop." He's like, "You were driving the wrong way down the street," and let him go. They didn't even get in trouble. And that guy told me, he said, "Mike, I couldn't get in trouble if I tried." He's like, "We got money, this, that, and other," and it's the exact opposite with us. We got to try with all of our heart to stay out of trouble. They say one out of 3 black men has been in prison or been locked up, been in jail, been arrested, whatever. And that's true. All the men in my family have been arrested and been in jail, so, that's true. You see it. We have a very thin margin of error. One step in, it's like we're on a tightrope and we're trying to balance. And like a lot of these white folks, man, they're on a 6-lane highway. They could trip, fall, tumble, do backflips and still be, not fall off. Us, we trying to balance, and just the slightest gust of wind and we're done, So you gotta, that's why you gotta cling to the word of God. You gotta cling to it and say, "Order my steps, Lord." Let him order your steps. Okay. And this, we're going to watch this quick video, and because it's an example of what I'm talking about. Okay. So let me pull it up. All right.
Okay, separate shooting investigation we are tracking from overnight, this time off of South Broadway. It all took place around 4 o'clock this morning. Police say that a group of men in 2 cars outside the Cookout fast food restaurant began shooting at each other before speeding off on Broadway in separate directions. We're told that one woman was shot in the neck and is currently at UK hospital in critical condition. Police say that they believe they have located one of the cars that could be involved in the shooting, and they are right now questioning possible suspects.
Okay, and who that was the Olympic sprinter Tyson Gaze. That was his daughter, and she died. Okay, but the thing you want to catch, and I'm making a point of how thin this margin of error is. The thing you want to pay attention to, what happened is it was 4 a.m. and they were out at a food joint, I guess a fast food type place, chicken place or whatever. But the margin of error is so thin, you can't be out late at night or early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, what it looked like is they were coming back from a club or a late night out, and she wasn't with those men who were shooting out there, but she got caught in the crossfire, they said. And it's like me, I try to be in by the time the sun goes down. By the time it's dark, I try to be in the house. You gotta, you really gotta be careful out there, man. It's dangerous. You gotta be looking at everything, be aware of what's going on around you and all that stuff like that. And you really gotta do a lot of prevention and not putting yourself in dangerous situations, dangerous areas. So yeah, unless I'm going to work, because I get up early and go to work sometimes if I'm working overtime or something like that. But unless it's that, I'm not up and out at wee hours in the morning or late at night or stuff like that, because they got some type of saying about, hey, nothing's going on but bad stuff late at night. They got some saying, but you got to think like that. You get caught up, Okay, we got another Bible verse here. Okay. And it's mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanliness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, covetousness, which is idolatry. Okay, and like that verse there covers a lot of those traps that are out there that are snagging people that we're getting caught up in, And the way to do this is a lot of stuff you're going to be able to do just by your willpower. But some of the stuff, you have spiritual strongholds in you. So certain things you're not going to be able to give up. You're going to have to pray, fast, and seek the Lord earnestly to get some of that stuff released from you. Like some people ain't going to be able to just stop smoking weed or stop eating certain foods or stop hanging out with certain people or being in certain relationships. And you're going to need the God's spiritual power and mercy to, cast that demon out or release you from that stronghold, So praying is just earnestly and honestly from your heart, in a humble way, seeking the Lord and talking to him. Not sitting there saying these holy Catholic prayers, but just earnestly seeking him with your heart and talking to him and expressing your desire to get delivered from whatever, has a stronghold on you. And fasting is, fasting from food or fasting from something you love, like TV. Stop watching TV, Give up something you can give up. You can stop eating. You can miss meals. You know what I'm saying? So praying, fasting, and seeking the Lord, watching videos like mine, reading your Bible, finding the answer to what's going on in your head or whatever's got a stronghold on you. That's how to, get freed from this trap. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a trap by design, okay? A good video to watch that shows and proves what I'm talking about is this video is called 13th. It's on Netflix. It's produced by them. So we'll watch the trailer for it.
1 out of 4 human beings with their hands on bars, shackled, in the world are locked up here in the land of the free.
Khalif Browder was walking home from a party when he was stopped by police.
Then they said, we're going to take you to the precinct, and most likely we're going to let you go home. And then I never went home.
The 13th Amendment to the Constitution makes it unconstitutional for someone to be held as a slave. There are exceptions, including criminals.
The loophole was immediately exploited. What you got after that was a rapid transition to a mythology of black criminality.
Some people got the real problem.
Animals, beasts that needed to be controlled.
You better believe it.
I'm only human.
It became virtually impossible for a politician to run and appear soft on crime.
The kinds of kids that are called super predators.
Millions of dollars will be allocated for prison and jail facilities.
3 strikes and you are out.
It was an enormous burden on the black community, but it also violated a sense of core fairness.
Some people got the real problem.
States were required to keep these prisons filled, even if nobody was committing a crime.
It's so difficult to talk about mass incarceration because it has become heavily monetized.
The focus is on taking people from prison, putting them in community corrections, parole and probation.
How much progress is it really if now there's a private company making money off the GPS monitor?
We now have more African Americans under criminal supervision than all the slaves back in the 1850s.
We are the products of the history that our ancestors chose. Products of that set of choices that we have to understand in order to escape from it.
We should go lock in somewhere high. I'm only human.
put the blame on me.
Yeah, that's a good documentary to watch, man. Very informative. They bring out some good information in that. And it'll help wake a lot of people up, open a lot of people's eyes. But anyway, I hope this video was informative. If you liked it, put some comments. If you didn't like it, put some comments. Check out my other videos. Subscribe to my show. And my name is Mike, and have a nice day.